guys, Preacher 357 here. I'm out here on the range today with a gun that honestly I wasn't familiar with until just recently. I think it was back in December I first saw this gun on the market here in West Tennessee where I live, and I think it may have been around for a couple of years already, but as I said, this is the first time I had seen it. And it's a gun that is budget priced. It's a gun that comes in at a reasonable price for most people. And so the question is it worth the money you pay for it? Because sometimes budget doesn't mean good. Budget may be friendly to your wallet, but it may not work. So the question is it still worth the money, or are you better off going with something more expensive to get something that's reliable? And the gun I'm talking about is the ATI or the AHSS FXS 9. And this is a polymer framed semi-automatic handgun that has 17 rounds and 4.1 inch barrel, I believe. And it is made in Turkey. So when you think about something being made in Turkey, being polymer framed, striker fired, obviously the first thing you think about probably is going to be Canik. They're a company that came to the American market over a decade ago, and have really carved out a place for themselves in the U.S. market. There's a lot of people that love the Caniks. They are extremely reliable by all accounts. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't get a lemon, but generally speaking, when you buy those guns, they work, and they have excellent triggers on those guns. And so there's a lot of people that love the Caniks. And when I first saw this gun, there were a few things that kind of reminded me of the Canik. Of course, Canik originally was something of a clone of the Walther P99, but then that changed as they switched up and went to a striker-fired model, and they changed a few things over the years, but some of the styling of it still is kind of reminiscent of that. This has the striker indicator in the back here, which kind of reminds me of a Walther, sort of. But at the same time, it doesn't really look like a Canik or a Walther. It's kind of its own thing, for better or worse. I mean, it's not an ugly handgun, but I wouldn't consider it to be the most aesthetically pleasing gun I've ever seen either. But it doesn't have to be. A gun doesn't have to be beautiful, though I think it helps. I think I enjoy them more when I think they're beautiful. That's why I love revolvers and things like 1911s. But, from a practical standpoint, how well a gun looks doesn't translate into how effective it is at all, because Glocks are one of the most tried and true models on the market, and they're not beautiful, at least not to me, and they still work quite well. So here it is, and you'll see it also has a manual safety on it, something that I don't care anything about. But it's kind of unobtrusive. It's not really in the way there. It's easily activated. But I've never accidentally turned it on. It's ambidextrous on top of that. So, there is that. One thing about this gun that I don't like is it has this takedown lever right here that you twist to, take the slide off for cleaning or what have you. And it's very thick right there. That takedown lever is very thick. It's got some texture on it right there. I guess put your thumb there as a place to rest your thumb for a thumb forward grip. But it's not comfortable to me because it's very sharp on the back side, if you can see that there. And it just rubs my finger the wrong way when I put it there. It sticks out a little too far from the slide for me. So I don't find it particularly comfortable right there. Some people may not have a problem with that. It's just something that I found with this gun that I didn't particularly care for. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. The trigger on this gun, though, I will say is quite good. Is it as good as a Canik? Well, maybe not, but it's not far off. A little bit of take up and then you hit the wall. I mean, there's not a lot of slop there at all. And then pretty crisp break, and it's not heavy either. Pretty nice. The reset's fairly short, so it's not a bad trigger. It's a funny feeling trigger, sort of. You have to kind of get used to it a little bit. Just the way it is shaped there is a little different than some of the others, but you know, all of them are a little bit different. But the question is it reliable? And you know, how well does it actually shoot? So let's do a little bit of shooting on here. One thing that I will point out, the sights on this gun, you know, when you pull it out of the box, are easily visible. It's got this really bright green dots on there that are very easy to pick up. Unfortunately, the dot on the front of mine is gone. I don't know if it was paint in there or a sticker or what it was, but I was shooting with it and looked and it wasn't there anymore. So I'll probably have to get some sight paint to put back in there in order to make the front sight a little bit more visible, but it's not too bad in broad daylight, so I'm just going to go with it as it is. But let's do a little bit of shooting here and see what we think. If you saw the video there of me shooting the paper at the front of the video, at the first there, it shoots high. And it shoots not just a little high, it shoots pretty high. Now, it may not have looked that bad, you know, when I was shooting on paper, but that's only 7 yards. So when we stretch it out to 20 yards or even further, it's really high. So I have to hold low. And you have to hold pretty low. I mean, when you get out to 20 yards, you have to hold pretty low in order to hit the target. And, you know, that can be a problem as well. I don't mind a 6 o'clock hold, but, you know, sometimes this takes more than a 6 o'clock hold. So that may cause some issues as far as being able to hit with it. Especially if we go out to, you know, 100 yards or whatever, it may cause a problem. I don't know. I tried it earlier out at distance, and I don't think I hit it one time. So, but we'll try it again. But before we begin, if you would, check out the description. There's a link there for the Gun Owners of America. You can click there and get a discounted membership. Get in the fight on the national level. They also work closely with a lot of your state organizations. Speaking of which, I have a link there for the TFA, the Tennessee Firearms Association, where you can join up there. If you live in this great state of Tennessee like I do, I would encourage you to do so. Get in the fight. We just had our lobby day that was sponsored by the GOA and the TFA. And we saw some gun bills go up in front of both the House and the Senate and the Tennessee legislature. And they didn't get as much support as I would like. I mean, they're not all completely dead, but, you know, I was not as pleased as I could have been with the support they were getting, especially when you look at the Department of Safety, Highway Patrol, you know, testifying against those bills, opposing those bills, and I have a real problem when the executive branch starts getting involved and trying to dictate what the legislative branch does. Tries to get involved in politics and lobbying, and that's not right. But it's happening. So, but anyway, if you would click on those links, join up, get in the fight, and help us out with our Second Amendment rights. But let's go over here and do some shooting. One thing I'll say about this gun is it's made in Turkey. Well, I mentioned that earlier, by a company I'd never heard of before, and I can't pronounce it. I'll put it up on the screen. Good luck trying to say it. It also goes by AHSS, which is the abbreviation, which I'll put up what that means as well, because I can't pronounce any of that either. But it's imported by ATI, which is American Tactical Imports. And it comes basically with one magazine and a backstrap and a cleaning brush. And that's pretty much what you get with it. And I'm kind of disappointed it only comes with one magazine. Now, these magazines are CZ75 magazines. So if you have a CZ75 or another gun that takes CZ75 magazines, then you've got mags that'll fit it. Luckily, I do have some CZ75 compatible magazines, so I've got 3 mags today to use, but only one of these magazines actually came with the gun. So let's do a little bit of shooting now. I'll see if I can hit anything with this. I did okay earlier, but I have struggled with this gun compared to some others that I've been shooting. So Let's just see what I can do. You have to hold a little low. See, I don't know where I'm going. This is the problem I have. At the grass in front of the cowboy, and still they're going all over the place. Some of them are going high still, even that low, and then some of them don't go that far off, and I just can't seem to figure it out. But the trigger is good, so I don't think it's me not being able to control the gun, because the trigger is nice on it. And there's nothing I can see that I'm consistently pulling it one way or another. And generally, you're not going to pull rounds high. You know, you're going to pull the gun low. So I don't think it's me. I haven't figured it out, and I don't know. Maybe there's something. Maybe it's out of spec somehow or another, and that's why it's not, stabilizing the bullets properly. I just don't know. I can't figure it out. See, I actually held on the target that time when I hit it, and it hit. Then the rest of them looked like went high, so I aimed well below the target that time, and I can't make any sense of it. It's like there's not much consistency here. All right, I hit it that time by aiming at it. I don't think I'm going to hit those little ones. I think I'm just wasting my time trying. Let's try the cowboy again. See, I just don't know. I was aiming at the ground in front of him, and those didn't hit. This is the frustrating part sometimes with guns, and I've actually had this gun for about 3 months. And the reason I haven't done a video yet is because of this. I would have already done one, but I've been kind of waiting to see if I couldn't figure it out or something, but I finally just decided it is what it is, so we'll just make the video. See, I held on the cowboy that time and it hit. I'm aiming at the cowboy and it's hitting now. Earlier I was aiming at the ground in front of the cowboy and it was hitting. Just doesn't make any sense. And now it's not hitting at all. It's very frustrating. And see, I saw where that hit, that went high. So let me bring it down. That still went high, it looked like. All right, bring it back up a little bit. So I had to aim low, and I got it on that one. But it's just not consistent. Now, I'm assuming that not every gun that you buy is going to be like this. Not all of this model is going to have this problem. The reviews that I have read, the few that I could find, didn't seem to mention it. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know, you don't know who might be a paid review and who might not be. Obviously, I'm not paid. I say obviously, because I sure ain't making no money. We'll put it that way. I spend a lot more money on this channel every year than I make, which it's good at the end of the year for my taxes, but it does cost a lot of money to review guns, and all this ammunition and these guns are not cheap. But I'm not sponsored in any way by any of the gun companies. This is one I just found at a local shop here. It was actually Milan Arsenal in Milan, Tennessee. And I picked it up there and brought it home, and here it is. The danger, obviously, when you start getting guns from the manufacturers is they can cherry pick what they give you. They can test them ahead of time, make sure everything's perfect on the gun before you get it. Whereas the guns that are actually put out on the market, there may be some questionable quality assurance going on. QC may be lacking. So you don't know that when you get a gun from a company. Not that I ever have to worry about that. One other thing about this gun, the price it comes in, well, I've seen them, you know, around 300, maybe even a little below. I paid a little more, but you know, you're roughly coming in where Canik comes in, where some other guns like Taurus comes in, which they've got a new gun out on the market now that I'm going to be reviewing shortly, the TS9, which I'm kind of excited about. But the Canik, you know, for roughly the same price, maybe just a tad more. They usually go around $350, I think. But you know, you're going to get a holster and 2 magazines, plus a mag loader. But I don't like those mag loaders anyway. They're the Glock style mag loaders. But you get a little bit more with the Canik than you're going to with the ATI, the AHSS FXS 9. So you hear my dog in the background there. But anyway, let's just do a little bit more shooting here and see if I can figure it out. And I'm going to shoot 3 more mags and just call it a day here. One thing I can say about the gun is I've shot several hundred rounds through this gun, and it has not had one single malfunction. Not a single failure. It's fed everything I've given it. And so I can say it's reliable, at least as far as function goes. Accuracy, I'm struggling with. But anyway, let's do just a little bit more shooting. All right, I'm going to try these plates out here at 180. I don't think I'll hit it. I didn't have any luck earlier. But I'm going to sling a few out there just to be doing it. Let's see if we can figure it out. I heard it hit, but I can't tell if I skipped it in or what. Well, I had it almost there. It was just a hair short, but I was aiming probably 20-something yards in front of the target. So even out at 100 yards, I'm having to aim. I just hit it, and I was aiming. That was probably 15 yards short of the target where I was aiming, and it hit. So that's just not usable. Yeah, I'm having no luck at the smaller plate at 80 yards. I was holding way in front of it, probably 15 yards in front of it at times. So, you know, you just can't be accurate when you're having to use that much change in elevation, you know, to shoot. You know, Kentucky windage is bad enough, but elevation's even worse. We got a couple more mags here. Gonna keep shooting here. Now I'm holding on the cowboy and it's hitting. I really don't know. I don't understand. But I'm not holding low. So sometimes you have to hold way low and then sometimes you don't. Very strange. Last round in that mag. All right, 17 more rounds. All right, hit with that one. holding on the targets now. Doesn't even make sense. I was holding way low out at 100 yards, which normally for a distance like that, you have to hold higher because of the drop. But now on these targets, I'm holding right on. It's just hard to figure out. I don't think I'll figure this little one out. Well, I did, didn't I? At least I hit on the last round. I don't know what to say. I just really don't. I can't make sense of it. When I put it on paper, though, it didn't seem like they were completely inconsistent. I mean, the group wasn't the greatest, but you know, that standard deviation was not gigantic like it would be if there was something wrong. It didn't look like they were keyholing either. So I don't know. I'm baffled. It probably don't take a lot. If I could just figure that out, to be perfectly honest, I would like this gun. You know, even despite not liking the takedown lever here, the size of it, and the fact it's got some sharp edges on it. Other than that, the gun's fairly comfortable to hold and to shoot. The trigger's nice on it. It's just the accuracy I can't seem to figure out. But it's been 100% reliable. And I have put, well, I've probably put 300 plus rounds through this gun now. And it hadn't had a single misfeed or a malfunction at all. So I don't know what the problem with the accuracy is, though. Can't figure it out, but I'll keep shooting it. Maybe something will work out. Try some different ammo. I've tried a few different brands, and it didn't really seem to change anything. Maybe I'll find an ammo it likes. Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. But anyway, guys, there it is. The ATI AHSS FXS 9. That's a mouthful. A decent gun for the price, I think, if you're not having the issues with the accuracy that I'm having. But I think there are some other options on the market that are a better value because you get more with them. It only comes with the one magazine. And I think you get a little bit better track record with the Canic especially. But, you know, if you run across one of these and you see a deal on it, I doubt you're going to have the same accuracy issues. And I think it would probably be a pretty good gun, you know, if you get a good deal on it. So I don't want to run it down, but at the same time, I'm a little disappointed, and I can't figure it out, and it's frustrating me. But it just is what it is. I've done all I can do at this point. So other than, I guess, sending it back, taking it to a gunsmith or something, and have them check the specs on it, I don't know what else to do at this point. So anyway, guys, appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.